know what time it is, don't you?
What time would that be, Mary?
That will be time to stand up and sing.
But before we do, good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Andy.
Let's say hi to Oliver Brown on the percussion. There he is. And a good and a dear friend of mine and yours on the vocals this morning, besides Reverend Mary for this. Tina Meeks is here.
Yay.
Say hi to Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina. That was really weak. Tina Meeks is here. Yeah. Thank you so much. And on the bass, and in his case, I'm going to say an old friend. Carl Vincent, funk it up for me, Carl. Oh, make it good and funky in here.
It's getting funky in here,
You know, I have my hat of gratitude on this morning.
Oh.
See, it says gratitude. To remind me to be thankful all the time. What do we got over here?
Hi.
What is this? Hi, guys. Are you going to help us sing the song? Oh, cool. All right, here we go. To remind me to be thankful. To be thankful for this day. To be thankful to be
Absolutely.
here with you. And to be thankful to sing this song. 1,
Yeah.
2. You know what to do.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Wonderful. You can come up, you know. Thank you for my health, Spirit.
What?
Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth. My abundant, abundant, abundant wealth. Abundant, abundant, abundant wealth. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My wonderful, my beautiful, my beautiful life. My beautiful, my beautiful, my beautiful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day.
One more.
Thank you for this day. Excellent.
Yeah. Feeling good this
Yay.
morning, Redondo.
Now please look at your neighbor and greet them with love. Yes, you did. That's okay then.
Good morning. There I am. Welcome to Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Or when Andy plays that funky riff, I say, welcome to Center for Funky Living. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, boys. I am Damian Schiller. Hi, young people. How are you? I like the tutu. That's gotta have, must be the theme for today. I am on the board of directors here. My name is Damian Schiller. One of my great joys is occasionally I get to do the welcoming on Sunday. So welcome all of you. I know you have many options today of what and when you can do it. And the fact that you're here, I always think it's the right decision to start the day. The most important person in the room, other than Andy, is the person to the center for the first time. Do we have anybody with us for the first time today? We have some wonderful prizes and gifts for you. If you're too shy to raise your hand, you can also get it at the front desk. So we're also blessed today to have our spiritual musical inspiration, the lovely Tina Meeks.
Accentuate?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Too late.
Hello. There we go. It's on now. Well, you know, everybody, in order to get this week started off, I thought I'd sing something that take us back a little bit. But it's something that we all know is important to do, right? Oh. Ooh. Let me pick it up just a little bit. You got a accent, punctuate the positive and eliminate the negative. Woo! Keep on living it up and don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, and you gotta push down that gloom to the minimum, and you gotta have faith or pandemonium will liable to creep up on the scene. To illustrate that last remark, like Jonah and the whale and Noah and the ark, what did they do when everything became so dark? Well, they had to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. And what we gonna do now? Eliminate the negative and don't mess with Mr. In Between. Come on, Andy, show him. You know you gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Ow! What is that line? No, but it's a line before that. Come on, do you know this song or not? I guess since I'm singing it, I gotta tell you. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on! That was my cue. Latch on to the positive and don't mess with Mr. In Between. And then, you know, to illustrate that last remark, like Jonah and the whale and Noah and the ark, what did they do when everything became so dark? Well, they said you gotta accentuate the positive and kneel Latch on to the affirmative and don't mess with Mr. In Between. Oh, don't mess with Mr. In Between. He's a low down guy. Have fun.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you. Whew, we take deep breath with that, yes? Good morning. My name is Veronica. I'm a religious science practitioner and a ministerial student here. And I have our daily lesson. Good morning. Yes, good morning. I recently have been blessed and purchased a new car. And it's not the car that I'm excited about. It has 21st century technology in it. I actually think it's smarter than I am. But I can now take the music on my phone and Bluetooth it to my car. And I'm so excited about that. I know it's kind of probably a little bit older technology, but it's new to me. So I can now play, I have this favorite song list that I get to play in my car, and every song is my favorite song. And so it comes on, I'm like, oh my God, that's my favorite song. And then the next song will come on, I'm like, oh my God, I love that song. It's like, oh yeah, I made the list, right? So what I'm here to tell you is that we Bluetooth the Spirit of God as our life. We are connected always to the indwelling God, and it doesn't matter where we are, we always have service. We always have bars, okay? So that way we can create our favorite song list as our life. Isn't that great? Like, so that the people who you meet, oh my God, that's my favorite person. Even if you don't know them, because we have the song of joy within our heart. We're playing that as our favorite song, the song of joy as our life. And then even if you don't know the person, or maybe they're a little grouchy, you know, that's my favorite person. Why? Because they are you and you are them. And because you are turning up the volume of that song of joy within your heart, and they can't be grouchy around that. Right? We become contagious. Our joy becomes contagious. And our life becomes our favorite playlist that's playing all the time. So when we tune into our heart, in the song of joy that plays within our heart, and we turn it up, then our life becomes, everything in our life becomes our favorite. Yes? How does that sound? Good, good? Sounds good to me, yes. All right, Ernest Holmes says, as you enter into life, feeling the divine presence in everything, more and more you will hear a song of joy singing at the center of your being. You have only to be still and listen to this song of joy, for it is always there. Yes. Let's affirm this now. I turn up the volume to my song of joy. I see the joy in life always. And so it is. Thank you.
Please stand with me and sing. You are the light of love, and I am the light of love. You are the light, and I am the light. We are the light of love. You are the light of peace, and I am the light of peace. You are the light, and I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light of joy, and I am the light share our announcements with us. Our duo of teens. All right. Yay!
Hi, guys. Okay, so I'm here with Lucy, and we're going to do the announcements for you.
Morning. Okay, so if you haven't noticed by all of the balloons in Richelieu Hall, the Teen Luncheon fundraiser is today. We have all of our wonderful teens over here. We've got some wonderful things in store for you guys in our silent auction and raffle, and some amazing home-cooked food by all of us. There will be a silent auction as well. I said that. All monies raised help all of us go to teen camp in the summer, and you'll actually be getting a little surprise taste of teen camp, so everybody gets to be a teenager for like a half hour. Woo! Tickets can be purchased at the front desk, or we have a little table over at the entrance to Richelieu Hall. Drumming Circle will be today at 12:30 if you'd like to get that as well. Visioning with Dr. Moira is on Mondays at 6 p.m. Men's Spirit Group also meets on Monday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. in the Teen Room. Science of Mind classes will continue and with Dr. Moira teaching spiritual law on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. and Reverend Catherine teaching the Essential Ernest Holmes on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Namaste Cafe has been changed to Friday, April 27th. We always have interesting guests, and the price this time is $8 or a plate of cookies. We have a new artist, Nick Goodman, who is a singer-songwriter, and we will be welcoming back Cameron Clark, who performs clever and original music. We always offer an interesting and fun Friday night.
Volunteer Awareness Day is Sunday, April 29th at 12:30 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. There will be light refreshments, music, and inspiration. Ashley Johnson is coming up to share about volunteering.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Ashley, and I'm a volunteer of hospitality. And many of you know I've been in the kitchen for a long time. And so it is my joy to be able to serve. I have served many occasions, and it's a great opportunity to give from yourself, and I've truly enjoyed it. So, and many times, I have enjoyed meeting all the people that come through. I've watched the kids grow, and I've enjoyed doing memorial services. I get to know the people. I get to feel the people. And it's not that anything is wrong with the kitchen and serving. It's being of your best self. And so I want to read this by Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And so it is.
Thank you so much. The Arrowhead Retreat is from May 25th to the 28th, Memorial Day weekend. We're planning motivating workshops and seminars in a spectacular setting. Among our guest speakers are Dr. Sue Rubin, Reverend Mike McMorrow, Reverend Steve Rambo, and Dr. Moira. Daniel Namond will be performing as well. Please check at the front desk for more information and an application. We always have practitioners on duty. Look for them under the practitioner sign in the foyer. We also offer prayer circle after the service today. If you would like to be a part of it, please come to the grand piano over there after service. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
And so I allow myself now to come into the awareness that prayerfulness is what I'm always in. I am my life's prayer. And so now I allow myself to have that prayer be silent within me so that I can hear the inner prayer, that inner voice that is always whispering to me the truth that can set me free, whispering to me all the true essence of my being and what it is and how it is, and how it and it alone is all I need to be aware of and in relationship with in order for my life to fully function and fully thrive and flourish and realize great good as I come to know myself as the givingness of life back unto itself in that most beautiful of all things, sacred service. And so now I bless myself, I bless this life that lives me. I'm grateful to the life that lives me, and I bless all of life. And I know for all of life that true fulfillment of each individualized expression of the divine, so that each individualized expression can know itself as it is known in divine mind, in the sacred heart out of which all are formed, and formed out of that one substance, that one image, and that one likeness. How blessed I am, how blessed all of life is. And in this moment now, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge the immensity of what it is to be privileged to be alive. So I'm knowing for all of creation a movement, a thrust upward and forward, an open receptivity to a greater expression of the truth and the good and the love and the peace and the joy that flows through that which knows. There is only the one is all there is, and all is one in that one life. So always to that life be honor and glory and might and power expressing itself through me and every individualized expression of itself. I send forth this blessing, this prayer, this truth, knowing it is responded to, and now immediately as I say, and so it is.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the sanctuary. What a great good Sunday it is, and what a great good special day it is here in Redondo. And after our wonderful time together here, we can go forward into Richelieu Hall and enjoy what our youth have prepared for us. And they're excited about that. So I'm knowing that we'll all be there. If we can't be, I know we'll support them somehow, maybe buy some tickets or buy a ticket and let somebody else go in our place. So, Sunday in the sanctuary, and this month continues as we look at how we perceive ourselves as divine and human. And so we have the opportunity again to look at that and see what that means to you and to me. And we're doing that because we've learned that we are rooted in divinity, and we're doing that because we want to live a conscious, effective life. And so what does it indeed mean to be human and divine? And are they separate things? No, they're not. It's the one coin, two sides of the one coin, and it's the two sides that produces this one coin. And so you are infinite, I am infinite, you are divine, and I am divine. We are infinite, and we are finite. We are human, and we are divine. And we have to make sense of that. And so we're endeavoring to be able to identify ourselves more truly as what we are. And in doing that, we have to somehow or another be open and receptive to understanding this concept as much as we possibly can, because it is a challenge for the finite to try and understand the infinite, for the human to try and understand the divine. It is a stretch, but however, within the micro, we know, within the microcosm is the macrocosm. And the microcosm can experience all that power and potency of the macrocosm. And that's what we're endeavoring to do. And this is all kind of strange jargon, really, and not something that you and I are talking about in our day-to-day life and living. And yet, it's the basis of what makes our daily life and living wondrous and magical and beautiful and a joy. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So, are we ever going to fully understand this thing called being finite and yet infinite and yet finite? No, we're not, but we're going to understand it more fully as the continuum of our lives proceed. And we're looking at all of this under the umbrella today of eternal youth and what that is. And as I was sharing this morning, I come from the land of eternal youth. It's called Tir na Nog in the Celtic language, the land of perpetual youth. And so this has always been a deep-seated, rooted idea in the psyche of humanity, that there is this continuum attached to us, this eternality attached to us, there's ongoing stuff that's going to keep happening, and that we're not just going to die and that's the end of it. Not at all. We've always had this sense that there's a continuum. There is an after this life experience. Not an afterlife, but an after this life experience. And Ernest Holmes says that there is never going to be a time when we stop processing, when we stop growing. He says that time really is an illusion. Age is an illusion. And he says that limitation is a mistake. And he goes on then to say that unhappiness is ignorance. And he says that really what age is just the measurement of a process in experience, an experience. That's all it is. It's a measurement. That's all and nothing more. So here's the thing. Somehow or another, you and I have to become comfortable with understanding there never was a time when I wasn't, and there never will be a time when I won't be. Because I came from beyond time. I came from beyond place. I came from beyond space. I am the individualized expression of that which is indeed infinite. Infinite intelligence, infinite life, infinite power, infinite energy. And that's what I came from, and I came from it as it in an individualized expression in form. I am here because the infinite impressed upon itself the idea of me as its own self in form. Now there's a concept. There's a concept. It's not something you and I will daily take up with the person I'm having coffee with around the coffee table at the office. But that's what we're here to be comfortable with more and more. But it means nothing if it is not making an impact upon us. You see, you know this. You've heard this. It's a mental concept in your mind and in mine. But unless you and I are embodying that concept, well, I don't know why it is that we would be bothered coming here Sunday after Sunday, taking class after class and entering into all of our spiritual practices if we're not changed as a result of it. Every single day, you and I have an opportunity to be changed. Every single day, you and I can be changed and changed for the better. So, here is the focus for this week. To be eternally young is to be eternally new. To be eternally new is to be eternally young. There has to be newness going on and happening in your life and mine, because we talk about a new day. Often you hear people talking about a new day, but what does that mean? I mean, if you, in your everyday life and living, contending with all the stuff you have to contend with out there and under your own roof and within yourself and so on, if it's not making an impact in all of our experience, then it's not making an impact at all. So what we get here on a Sunday, what we get here in class, what we get here when we gather together for events and so on and so forth, is that which is supposed to be that wonderful gift that we allow ourselves to digest, and that we become imbued with, and that we become embodied in. And that's why we're always coming together like this, to embody what we mentally know. What we know is a concept, so that the concept can become a reality every day of our life. So, to be new, to be ever young, because you know the divine aspect of us never ages. It doesn't know anything of age. It's always the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That's not what age is. It's the humanity, the human form of us that ages, and that's perfectly okay. But as we age, remember, the option is, I don't have to grow old. I can age, but I don't have to grow old. Old has nothing got to do with it. Old is not supposed to have any part in your life or in mine, because every day is new, and you and I can be new in it. So the question is, how are you doing in your eternal now moment, in your everlasting present eternal now moment? What's going on in that? Okay, here is the thing. The two most significant gifts that you and I have been given are the gift of, in human form, are the gift of time and thought, and we'll keep reminding ourselves of that. The two most essential gifts that you and I have would be time and thought. So the question is, right now, in my present life, in my present moment, how am I using my time? How am I using my thought? And the way I use my time and the way I use my thought, is that causing me to flourish? Is it causing me to thrive? I mean, when I become conscious of my inner chatter, my mind chatter, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How do I feel when I get clued into it, when I wake up to it? Does it make me feel good? Does it not make me feel good? Am I really and truly diligently endeavoring to create a deeper relationship with the essential self of myself? Am I truly and really able to trust myself and value myself and depend upon myself and rely upon myself? Can I do that? Can I do that in my present now moment? Is this where I am with that? Because guess what? I mean, you are your own best gift. The gift that you are to the world is phenomenal, but you are your own best gift to begin with. You could be the best and most wondrous friend that you've ever been longing for, that you've been looking for, that you could vision in your mind. You could be that to yourself. You could be your own terrific and amazing best friend. You could be all of the things to yourself that you're looking and seeking to find out there in someone else or others or whatever. You could be that to yourself right here and right now. That's the way it's supposed to be in those of us who are spiritually focused on having that deep relationship with our essential self, with the source of our being, which is the essential self of ourselves. And the only place to find the source of your being is right where you are. I mean, as Walt Whitman said, there's so much more to us all than that which lies between our hat and our feet. And that much more, the best of us, the rest of us, and all of that, is this essential essence, this essential self. Every answer you want is in you. Everything that you desire will be given to you through you. It's all about you being in touch with that divine aspect of your being. It's never not been present to you. It's always been present to you. It always has been. And people are doing this all of the time. And we come to this in the strangest way out in the marketplace. I could be absolutely changed forever simply by watching the television, God help us. It could happen. Or talking to somebody, a stranger in a line, or however it's going to happen, by seeing something in the sky or something in nature or whatever, I could be pushed into a deeper realization of myself, as Denzel Washington was once upon a time when he was sitting in a hairdressing salon and waiting for his mom, and he was looking in the mirror and he saw this woman gazing at him, deeply gazing at him in the mirror, and he looked around, and then the woman said, "Give me a pen, somebody, give me a pen." She wrote stuff down. And then when she was finished, she looked at him and she said, "Boy, you are going to travel the world, and you are going to speak to and influence millions and millions of people." And he said something gripped him in that prophecy. Something caught him, because at that point he had flunked out of college. He was a grade point average of 1.7. He didn't know what to do with himself. He was thinking of going into the army. He just didn't know. He was a mess. And so that profound prophecy from this lady changed the whole structure of his being in a flash. Now he had to work on all of this. And it came to him that he would try out for, theater. And he did. Now, the talk that he was given, he gave this in a talk that he gave, a commensurate talk to a graduating group of students. And the main topic was, above all things else, have faith in God and always fall forward. And so he said he was failing and failing and failing. So, of course, he went for his first, audition. Of course, failed it miserably. He went again and again, failed again and again, but prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And he said, everything I have succeeded and achieved with is through the grace of God. That's the only thing that has caused me to be successful in life. And he says, I've had a little success. And he said, he's always been kept humble, and he's delighted with that. But he said, the most important thing that I have to share is never be afraid to fail. Never be afraid to fail, and fail big. Because if you're not failing, you're not trying. And he said, to do and be all that you can do and be, you must have big dreams. You must think out of the box, have big dreams. And then he said, you must have goals as a result of those dreams, life goals, simple goals, daily goals, whatever. And then, of course, he says you have to put action underneath the goals, because if you don't, nothing happens. Nothing happens. So he says, discipline and consistency, discipline and consistency, discipline and consistency is what will do it for you. It's what worked for him. And he kept stressing and stressing and stressing. You have the talent, but do you have, he says, you have the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail? Do you have the guts to fail? And it reminded me of Steve Jobs when he said, this is what helps me in my life. I remind myself that one day I'm going to die, and therefore I must not be afraid to try, to take the risks and to try. Because if I do, he says, because doing that, I have nothing to lose. Trying and taking the risk, I have nothing to lose. But he said, if I don't, I have everything to lose. And it's something that we don't think about, our fear of failure. And it seems that so many amongst us have succeeded so magnificently because they were not afraid to fail. We all fail. Denzel said, he went on to say, he said, you will fail, you will embarrass yourself, you will lose out. all of this is part of life. He said, but don't be afraid of it. He said, you get up and you go again. You get up and you go again. And he reminded them in the talk that Edison had 1,001 failures before he was able to succeed in producing the light bulb that worked. And so that's something we need to think about, that we ought not to be afraid of our mistakes. We're all making mistakes. We will make mistakes. The thing is to learn from them, to pick ourselves up and go on from them. Over the week, I caught that by accident when I accidentally touched I think it was YouTube, and that's what came up on YouTube. So I thought, this is what I'm supposed to listen to. And I did. It was wonderful. It was very inspiring. I didn't know much of that about Denzel Washington. And then another talk came up by Will Smith. And it was almost the very same talk. And he was giving to students too. And he was saying, the thing with me, he says, anybody who knows me, he said, I have this fierce work ethic. He said, you can succeed, but you have to apply yourself. You have to work hour upon hour upon hour upon hour, honing your craft. You have to be committed. You have to be committed. Seems to be the same thing everybody says, those who do succeed in several fields, in all fields really. And if you look at your own life, you'll know that when you did succeed was when you did go ahead, you did put in the effort, and you did endure. So when you're living your eternal life, which is now, when you're looking at what my eternal life looks like now, is there any room in there for improvement? And of course the answer is yes. No matter how good we're doing, there's always room for improvement. So we're coming back to understanding that the only way we're going to be able to do all of this is through that power and through that presence of the source of our being that's always available to us. And Will continued on and almost finished his talk by saying, not Will, but Denzel, he said, and when you go to bed at night, throw your slippers far under the bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, you have to get down on your knees to get them. And when you're down on your knees, he said, go into gratitude. Go into gratitude, he said, to the being that lives inside of you. To the being that lives inside of you, go into gratitude. And how familiar are we with the being that lives inside of us? How familiar are we with the essential self of ourselves? What kind of a relationship are we in with the self, the essential self of ourselves? That's what we have to ask ourselves. During the week, too, I had time to follow the services and the celebration of Barbara Bush's life. Now, she's a woman that has always caught my attention, I have to say. And her whole thing in the family was, don't get caught up in the big me. Do not get caught up in the big me. And her premise was, first gratitude, then good manners, and then no whining and complaining. And they all had to step to that, and they knew that's what. And when one of her sons was talking about his mother, he said she was known as the benevolent despot, but not always benevolent. And so strong, powerful woman that was committed, as you know, to literacy for everybody. She said every single soul on this planet has a right to literacy, has a right to that freedom that opens up their lives for them. And somebody that I never thought about ever in terms of any kind of politics at all. I remember from the first day she caught my attention when she was asked, and I shared that with you before, which of your children do you favor? Like she would answer that. Which of your children do you favor? And her immediate answer was the one that's in the most trouble at any given time. And that impressed me. And so, again, Les Brown caught my attention this week, too, when he says, look, when you are on he talked about your dying bed, your bed of transition, he said. You don't want the ghosts of ideas past visiting you. You don't want the ghosts of things you wished you had done and didn't do, the ideas that you were given and you did nothing with. And you don't want the things that you knew you could do but didn't do to be the ghosts hovering around your bed, angry, upset, and annoyed with you, that they now had to fade away as you made your transition. He says that's not the kind of experience you want at that time. So whatever it is that comes to you, whatever that idea is, whatever it is the urge in you is suggesting to you to get out there and experience and realize, look at it, take it seriously, listen to it, go quiet and let it speak to you, because it will. And not only will it speak to you, but it will open the way before you for that to happen. But only if you're in a relationship with your deeper self, only if you have that comfort zone that you can go to when things are challenging. And the first thing you don't think of is running outside of yourself to go somewhere else to get some kind of help with this thing that's going on in your life. But that your first thought is, God is right where I am, and where God is, I can handle, I can manage, and I can take care of anything. I can handle this. And then if you go to the source that is your great self, and if you sit with it, if you listen to it, if you're able to somehow or another contain your runaway mind so that you can indeed get in touch with that is deeper than the mind, not only will you be comforted, but you will be shown the way. The information you need for you to move through this will be given to you, and then all the things that should happen outside to assist and help you will happen. But you don't ever outsource first. You always insource first, and then the outsourcing will appear for you to be your help and to be providing for you everything you need in order to handle this. But that's on that side of life. But you'll also get an explosion of wonderful ideas, wonderful thoughts, wonderful sensations about something that you could realize. And instead of doing, oh yeah, like that's going to happen, get excited and delighted by it, because it's a ghost that could be down the road, and that's not what we want. No ghosts, thank you very much, when we're in our moments of transition. No ghosts, that's not what we want. We want to leave all of our ducks in a row and tie up everything that needs to be tied up. And you know what? It's really about you and I understanding that the divine essence chose to be itself by means of each one of us. And for what? Chose to be itself by means of each one of us in order for each one of us to be that kindness, to be that goodness, to be that comfort, to be that ease, to be that help, to be that peace and that love and that light that the world needs us to be as individualized expressions of spirit. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, I could truly be more quickly enlightened by simply being kind and careful and mindful and purposeful and serving and sharing and making a difference and helping where I could, than all the books in the world studied and chewed and digested. I wouldn't have to do anything or be anything other than those qualities that I am already prone to, that I'm already holding here in reserve until I release them and let them be in that energy zone out there, being as it is meant to be. Not by doing more. And Denzel said, oh my gosh, he says, don't think that by doing more, you're getting more done. Not really. Not really. He said, many people are running in place. Many people are running in place. Many people are running in place. Let's stop it. Let's stop it and let's do whatever that is. And it doesn't matter how small the beginning of this newness that you and I are going to embrace now. And understand that to be eternally young, I must be eternally new, which means something new must be happening and going on in my life every single day of my life. Not the same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. Fish on Friday, this on Monday, the next on Sunday. I mean, really. New, 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 because every moment of your life, you and I have the opportunity to be absolutely spanking brand new. An open book, a new page, a new chapter ready to be written on. Who's going to write the history of my life and yours? Who is writing the history of your life and mine? Is culture, is society, is family? Who is doing the dictating of that story? Let it be none other than your own great self. Because that's what you're here for. You signed up for it. You wanted to come in at this time, especially at this time, to be the difference at this time, to make the difference at this time, because you're equipped to do exactly that just now. So the whole thing boils down to what I'm identifying with regard to myself. How do I identify myself? I'm not my faults, I'm not my failings, I'm not my mistakes, I'm none of that. What I could be is what I already am. I am the life, I am the light, I am the power, I am the peace, I am the beauty, I am the joy, I am the wholeness and the fulfillment of a divine idea that wanted to know itself as me here right now, to be that whole life in expression and creating all kinds of great light and energy and good on this plane. And this is the moment when you and I can decide to endeavor together to be all of that and be exactly what we are now, eternally in that continuum of life, to know life as life knows each one of us, as that whole, complete, and wondrous energetic of the divine. That's who you are. That's what I know you are, and that's what I'm knowing you know yourself to be. And so it is. It's a privilege to be among you, truly. And now, Reverend Catherine has something to share with us.
I have had so much sadness in my life, so much loss, but I've also had many opportunities. At a time of deep loss, I found Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. All of my adult life, I've read metaphysical, psychology, and self-help books. I've been to workshops and so many, many churches. Such was my hunger for something else, for something more. When I came to this center, I became more and more amazed that I had found people who thought as I do. I have made this center my spiritual home. I have taken classes, I have volunteered, and I have found peace. My journey has brought me many joys and, yes, miracles. I have changed my life. So I humbly say thank you to Dr. Moira and to my church community.
Now, I would like you to listen, and listen very carefully to this. Those letters happen because you're sitting in those seats. Those letters happen because you come together and you form a community. Those things happen because you support the divine idea for which this center stands. And it is indeed to make a difference in the world, by first making a difference in our own lives and then making the difference in the lives of others. So that's how essential you are. You are not insignificant. It does matter whether you're here or not. You are the essential essence of what it is to be the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. You are it. It's not just one of us or a few of us that creates this. It's all of us, and all of us have different roles, like these 4 people standing before me here today. Different roles, we all play different parts. So I want you to understand that when I say thank you, it's deep, because I understand that we couldn't be who and what we are without all of us together. And so, again, great and deep gratitude to each and every one of you for creating this beautiful space for people to come into, find themselves, heal themselves, be inspired in themselves, succeed and achieve in their lives, and so on. It's all of us together, and that's important for us all to know. And so now let's take our gifts between our amazing hands, and let's bless our gift with our blessing hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Mine will be added later.
Come on, you get the feeling. Come on. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Spirit, if you please. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When I am weak, thou art strong. Well, Spirit keeps me from all wrong. Well, I'll be satisfied as long as I walk, dear Lord, close to thee. Oh, just a closer walk with thee. That's what we all need. Granted, Spirit, if you please. I want to be daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Come on, Andy, let me hear you. Walk close. Somebody asked me today, well, is that your husband over there on bass? I said, no, he came to do something else. Let's listen. This is Carl. Ooh. with thee. This week, walk a little closer. Granted Spirit, if you please. So you're gonna be daily walking forward, walking with thee. Let it be, dear love, gonna let it be, dear love, I'm gonna let it be. First with me, I'm gonna walk close to thee. Yes.
Well, what can I say? It's just all fabulous, as is Tina every time, and the band. I mean, really. Chris. Yeah, do y'all feel now all jazzed up? Good. Are you all ready to go over there into Richelieu Hall and have a great meal and enjoy what the youth has to present to us? Good, because I am. And I'm knowing everybody's going to have a very blessed week, and keep up the knowing for all of us to be a united one world, living under one value, you know, that we all belong to each other and care about each other. That's what I'm knowing. So we are going to have our peace prayer now. And, well, everything is about peace. And today, let's offer this up for a deeper realization within ourselves of the true essence of our being. Because if we know it, it'll be raising everybody else knowing it too. The vibe will be there. So let's pray knowing that this is true. What we're hearing is true. What we're saying is true. I am true. You are true. And that's just that. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine love lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life in expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life, there is only God, there is only God, there is only God. And now we're going to stand for our peace song. There will be prayer at the piano, practitioners that's to your service, and of course our wonderful meal in Richelieu Hall. So good to see you, my sweet, marvelous.